What is up, everybody? It is your boy Cookie Dough Plays, and today we are doing something a little bit different. We are talking about Jake Paul versus Logan Paul. And no, I'm not talking about in a fist fight or boxing match. I'm talking a verbal altercation that they had on the Impulsive podcast. It does seem it's going viral lately, so that's why your boy's doing something a little bit different and covering some of what is going down. So let's start with this clip.
What is your mind telling you about this KSI versus Tommy Fury fight?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a real fight because it's an exhibition, like, first and foremost.
Hold on a second.
It doesn't count.
No, Mike's
yeah,
face.
It's still a real
He's not
fight.
doing any. It's not a professional fight, though. So to
But
me, it
it's
doesn't
still
matter.
a real fight.
It doesn't matter, though. It's like it's an exhibition. It's like it doesn't go on anyone's records. The stakes aren't as high because of that.
I'm trying to give you a comparison.
I'll give you one. Logan Paul versus Floyd.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay,
but
everyone wins.
Wow.
They're both gonna win at the end.
I like what he's saying about the exhibition matches. They are not real matches. They don't go on your record for win or loss. Nobody gets picked as the winner or loser. I agree.
Is there even a winner?
There's a stipulation here. There's a reason why it's not going to go on BoxRec, or because it's not an exhibition.
But none of KSI's
Look
fights
at this dude.
do. So to me, it's not boxing until they make it professional fights.
But they are professional fights.
No, they're not.
No.
But they're 10-ounce
exhibitions.
gloves with no headgear. I'm on the same card. It's not mine. Isn't an exhibition. I consider it a real fight.
Consider it, or it is, with a decisive winner, and it will go on your record.
I like Mike
It
in
doesn't
this
go on
one.
your record.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if the number on the record not being there doesn't make it
Represents.
legitimate.
All right, so here we go. We got Jake and Logan firing at each other. First disagreeing about what a real boxing match is. And I really respect Jake on this one. And I am 100% with him on this take that exhibitions are not real fights. They're not on your record. There is no winner at the end. So the stakes are not as high. That's what he's saying. Like the initiative to train hard, to fight really hard in the ring, to really, bring out that grit that everyone has, not everyone has, that the dogs have, to bring that grit out. The stakes have to be a little higher for you really to want it, is what he's saying here. And he's also saying, dude, you haven't had any professional fights. I have knocked out, beat 3 retired MMA fighters. I'm fighting professionally. I'm a continuous fighter. You barely fight. Well, let's see what else is said in this interview.
Career may not be that of numbers. It may not. They might not matter. Everyone knows.
Yeah, but that's why I don't like to be in the same conversation, because what I'm doing is like real.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, here's where you do come back in the conversation. He has basically said, or has said, that if he beats Tommy, he can retire as the king of this level of boxing, because he took down someone that you haven't or couldn't at the time.
That's such a cop-out. It's such a cop-out. How many fighters in the history of the sport have beaten someone and then lost to a different guy?
Okay, so he's talking about MMA math, boxing math. Styles make fights, everybody. I agree with him on this. Just because, let's say, KSI beats Tommy Fury, that doesn't mean he automatically beats Jake. But if he does retire after beating Tommy, it'll be a while. He'll be in that number 1 spot, and it'll really probably get under Jake's skin. But Jake's after bigger things, I think. So let's continue. Yeah, Jake is really right here. If you have an exhibition match, it's not the same as preparing for a professional fight with professional fighters. You got to remember, other than the exhibition with Floyd Mayweather, Logan has only fought other YouTubers in exhibitions. So points go to Jake there as well.
I'm going to rematch Tommy Fury whenever, but also none of this is my goal. My goal is to become world champion.
There we go.
And fight the best of the best, and to continue boxing 2, 3, 4 years from now, when a lot of these guys are going to stop. That shit is cool.
All the YouTubers are going to stop, and he's still going to be training and fighting the best fighters and trying to be a world champion.
Lost, yeah, I'll deal with that as a man. I'm upset. I'm going to get better from it. But at the end of the day, where my end of the road goal goes, it has nothing to do with KSI.
So as I said, it seems like KSI's mission is just to box other YouTubers. and try to take some shine from Jake. It seems as if, like I said, Jake is on a whole nother level of planning. He wants to continue fighting like none of these other YouTubers do, and to fight real fighters, which also none of these YouTubers do. And he wants to become a world champion. And he's serious about that. I can tell by looking at him. So that makes a world of difference between him and KSI, him and Logan Paul. He's the one actively fighting. That is what Nate Diaz told Ariel Helwani why he picked him over Logan Paul. He said, I picked him because he's the active fighter, he's the better fighter, he's the real fighter. Facts.
If he stops KSI, I'm going for Tommy's throat.
What?
I love.
Like, back to Nate Diaz, like the Diaz brothers. Imagine Nick Diaz telling Nate Diaz, I'm going to fight Conor, and then Nate doesn't get his third fight. Like, what?
I love that vengeance storyline.
Yeah.
I don't want to put the energy into the air, but like Tommy Fury's on my fucking radar. I have him in my scopes. I wanted him when Jake was fighting him, and I'm gonna be back in the conversation, which I'm fucking stoked
Stepping
about.
on
Yeah, dude.
Jake Logan saying that he needs to fight Tommy Fury next. Like, when there's already a rematch to be had for Jake, and Jake's talked about this rematch, like that doesn't come off right at all to me. Logan seems like he's missing some brain cells.
No, I'm gonna finish him off first. I gotta handle that business first.
We'll
Facts.
see, bro, because you definitely sniped the Nate Diaz fight from me.
What? Dude, he said he sniped the Nate Diaz fight from me. I already explained this. Nate Diaz explained why he chose Jake over Logan. He made that decision because Jake is the real fighter.
And I've been so lenient in giving you your opponents.
Now, to be honest, here, Jake's take is actually really, really good. And he actually gained a lot of respect for me from this. So check it out.
And I think it's
But it's not your option to give me my opponents. You haven't fought anyone. You don't
You heard
fight.
Mike
you don't
laugh?
fight real fights. It's just not your option to give me my opponents. You're not even a fighter. Like, you do exhibitions and lost like 4 years ago.
Wow, lost to. Look at Mike's. Did y'all see Mike's face? Man, Jake is coming with those verbal haymakers, baby. Not playing games. This conversation has gotten quite serious, and I'm very surprised that they didn't talk about this like before the show. But this is a serious conversation, and I wonder why this is going viral. This is quite interesting.
I think I'm better than you. And I think Nate chose you for a reason.
I think I'm better than you? What? This does not make sense to me.
And I think everyone knows that.
What do you mean?
Even in
But what have you done to prove that you're better than me?
I don't know. Went toe-to-toe 8 rounds with the greatest boxer of all time.
Wait.
What do you think happens if you fight Floyd Mayweather?
I would knock him out.
Bro,
No, you wouldn't.
100%.
don't be ridiculous.
I'm going to say Nate definitely wouldn't knock out the greatest boxer of all time, especially defensively. But Logan legitimately sounds delusional here. Like, the whole world knows that you boxed Floyd Mayweather and it was an exhibition. But everybody knows, yes, you had a few moments in that fight, but everybody knows that Floyd Mayweather, other than knocking you out, boxed your life away in that fight. Just the facts.
You think because you lost a fight to Floyd Mayweather that you're better than me at boxing?
You think because you lost a fight to Floyd Mayweather that you're better than me? That you even fought him? Like, dude, how many fights do you have compared to Jake? How many true professional fights do you have compared to Jake? None. By the way, Logan's face here is definitely... Take a screenshot.
You said I won the fight.
In person, when I was watching it, I thought so. But then, yeah, watching it back, it's like, okay, I've had like a biased point of view, like sitting there in person.
This is the first time I've heard you say that. You just
Yeah, but because we never talked
Look
about
at
it.
dude's
switching up
face.
like that. The whole internet saw you repeatedly throughout the past 2 years say that I won that fight. And now
Yeah,
you're saying the opposite?
because I'm rooting for you. But like, if you want to know the truth, yeah, like I'm gonna ride or die for you on my shield. Yeah, 100%. And afterwards, when I saw that you lost it on TV, people in interviews would still be like, "What do you think?" I'm not gonna be like, "No, I watched it back and I thought he lost." No, he won because you're my brother.
I don't disagree.
Now, Logan tries to pull out the family card here. but Jake is absolutely right in what he's saying. Any brother would say, especially the night of the fight, yeah, my brother won, especially in an exhibition where they don't pick a winner. I mean, that's a good brother. And then in interviews he's asked after, he's not just going to switch up on him, but he's like, now as we're talking face to face, yeah, that's truly what I think. Like, I watched it back and you lost that fight. And it's the truth. Logan Paul, again, is delusional to think that he won that fight because he didn't get knocked out. Bro, you had a few moments, but you got your life boxed away.
But
But for you
I yielded, bro, and I'm tired of not being picked because you're an easier fight.
Wait, what? He truly is delusional. He truly believes he's a better boxer and fighter than Jake Paul. Jake Paul's the real fighter. Nate Diaz picked him because of that. You're picking his fights. I don't even know where he's coming from with this.
Is that what you really think in your head?
For real. You can see how truly shocked Jake is at these questions and like his brother's thinking like, you really think you're the better boxer? Like, how have you proven that? You fought 4 years ago and lost and then had an exhibition with Floyd, and I've been doing nothing but knocking people out, winning fights, and fighting professionally? What?
You had your chance with Tommy. You did. You had it, right? I have not. I've not gotten to eat at all. You know, like
I have not gotten to eat at all. What are you talking about, bro? You're in the WWE. You're eating all the time. You have that whole show podcast called Impulsive, the biggest podcast I think that there is. What do you mean you don't get to eat? You're not even a real boxer. You have no professional fights. So you think you should get Tommy Fury next, even though they already plan a rematch. Like, what? You're going to just come in and swoop down and steal Jake's like most important fight because it's the one he lost to a real boxer? Like, he definitely wants that one back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the cracks are starting to show.
I think that Nate fight locked up. You took it.
You
said,
took
okay,
it. That's
go for it.
Nate explained this.
But people are avoiding me. They are avoiding me.
People are avoiding you. This is getting, look at Mike's face. Like, people, come on, does he really think anybody's avoiding him? There are more than Tommy Fury and KSI in this world to box. Like, if he wants to eat and box, there are so many fighters that he could find to box.
Or picking someone else, and that's obnoxious. If for whatever reason it doesn't go in KSI's favor, the story arc, the vengeance arc of avenging my business partner and brother is right there. I think
you just want to beat Tommy to be able to say that you're better than me at boxing.
Dude, yeah. Jake is on the money here. Of course that's what it's about. I think he's jealous of Jake's success, and he really might delusionally think that he's a better boxer, but he's not in the gym every day with the same fire as Jake. Jake has such a fire, and you can see it in his eyes that he's serious about fighting professionally, continuing to grow, and then fight professional boxers and hopefully get himself a championship someday. That's a mindset to have.
But it's crazy for you to think that people are avoiding you.
Yeah, for real.
Nate chose you over me.
Is it?
No.
Why would
I
Nate
explained
do
it.
But Ariel Helwani asked him
Yep.
to his face. And he said because his brother hasn't fought anyone in a real fight, he hasn't knocked out any MMA fighters, he wanted the most real, professional, legitimate fight.
He wanted the most professional fight and the best fighter out of them, which is Jake. And I brought this up earlier in the video. Watch the sit down with Ariel Helwani. He asked Nate that exact question about you were supposed to fight Logan and why did that fall through? And he literally was like, I wanted Jake the whole time. Jake's the real fighter who's staying active. Logan's only fought twice and doesn't stay active. I want the real, better fighters.
And people know the pay-per-view numbers I put up.
What?
Dude, what he needs to do is fight a few YouTubers and build himself back up before he starts talking like this. Like, seriously, if he did that, if he had just like 2 or 3 fights that he won against some YouTubers recently in the last year, he would have more room to talk like this. But this is like straight from out the box, straight coming sideways at his brother, dude, on a national show that hundreds of thousands, if not 50s of millions of people watch.
big, dude.
But
I'm a great promoter.
What pay-per-view numbers though? Like
1.2 with Floyd.
yeah, but that's Floyd.
500K
That's
with
Yeah, that's
Floyd.
Floyd.
2,
Facts.
1.1 with
KSI 2 was
1.
300K.
What?
Every WWE event
did-
that I'm in has
Did you notice he didn't correct him? So he lied about the number with KSI, and then Jake corrected him 300,000, and he moved on to something else. Now I think he's talking about WWE.
been their highest grossing and most viewed.
So Logan thinks that the WWE needs him, or they're eating better because of him. Man, how delusional can this guy get, man? From Crypto Zoo to this kind of talk, like. Oh man, I wonder why the other dude from Impulsive left the show. Also, even if he is doing big numbers with WWE, does that really translate over to boxing? I'm not sure, because Jake has proven over and over and over again that he does draw huge numbers off his name for these boxing matches and for the rest of the card, and that's why everyone on the card gets paid well.
Nikisa banned DAZN from mentioning or bringing in Prime to the stadium. They said I would get kicked out if I brought a Prime bottle.
I'm just going to say something. That's how promotion works, because Celsius is an energy drink, so is Prime. That's a competitor, and that was sponsoring the entire event. What is this guy talking about? And he's mad about that? Two-faced.
That's f***ing ridiculous, dude. Do you think I would ever ban you from promoting any of your
He
any of
didn't.
my events?
That's because of who the partner, the competing
Dog,
partner was.
Even
for the
Mike
event.
has his back.
4 times with stipulations listed out, paragraphs.
Yeah, get over it. Like, and meanwhile,
Come on, I'm your brother building a
Oh, yeah,
business.
you're my
Building a
brother building a
business.
business. You love to play both sides. Bro.
Yeah.
What's the what other
You
side
play
am I playing?
both
Whose
sides.
side am I playing?
You play both sides.
What's
and it's
the
like,
other side that I'm playing?
I'll partner with all of your enemies.
Other.
Caused issues in our last event when we had other betting partners and drink partners, and you walked out with it with the betting and the drinks.
Is it
Oh,
it
yeah.
caused
to wear what
issues.
I'm wearing?
It caused
Come
issues.
on, it's not a. You can't tell me what to wear.
He doesn't even get what Jake's saying here. Jake is right again. Like, dude, you wore the one sponsor that doesn't like alcohol while you were holding the drinks. It didn't look good for the sponsors to be put together like that. Like, spitting knowledge to him.
And Logan,
Yeah, but if
Mike,
they're paying
chill,
us,
chill.
if they're
For
paying
one
us,
fucking chill.
if they're
No,
paying
but-
us millions of dollars, and they say, hey, but we don't want this person to be doing this stuff at the event with a competing
That's
brand.
ridiculous. I couldn't bring in a Prime bottle. Logos
100
and not letting me do certain things and a brand I'm building. Like
This
what?
is ridiculous.
But that's the brands. That's the brands getting involved. I have no say in that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't give a.
He didn't.
But if they request something and they're paying millions of dollars to be the
But the-
title
but the
sponsor, what do you care more about? Going to my event or having a Prime bottle in your hand?
Facts.
I care that it was such a big deal for your team that I'm trying to build a multi-billion-dollar business, and your team, who I see every single day.
Let's just get this straight. He's not trying to build a multi-million, billion-dollar business, because it's not even his business. If you guys didn't know, Prime, there's another drink too who uses a big social media guy. They just use them as the face and then show them drinking it and have them in all his videos like this, and they get paid a certain amount. But they're not doing any of the marketing. They're not really doing anything. They'll do some of the marketing if they get called by the real marketing team to do it or to make some content.
Whose
I have
event?
an issue with it.
At whose event?
Your event.
Exactly. My event.
I'm your brother.
Yeah, exactly. So respect what's going on at my event.
You can't do that. You can't tell me what to wear. You can't tell me I'm going to be escorted out of the venue if I bring a certain thing.
Technically, they can.
Technically, they can, yeah.
Logan claims he's this huge business mogul, and like I said, he's just the face, and he has a cut, so it's not actually his business. And to not understand that the competing brand that's sponsoring the entire event, paying millions of dollars to help grow this event, doesn't want a competing brand of their product to be shown by the brother of the main fighter on the main card. How does that not make sense to Logan Paul? How does he think this is Jake making these decisions? How does he not know that it's the brands making these decisions, and Jake will get cut by his sponsors and lose a lot of money if he doesn't listen? So just like you were saying, oh, you won't let your brother build this billion-dollar business, that's not even your business. You're trying to hurt your brother's real business that's his, has an actual promotion company, and you're trying to shit on him because he's trying to keep his money right and make sure that his sponsors don't get screwed up. And even pointed out a time where you had 2 sponsors and made the wrong move. Let's go. And like even the UFC does this. You know, if you ever look when the fighters are up at the desk before the fights in the press conferences, they always have Monster. Nothing else, not Red Bull, not Coke, not anything ever. Because that's who's sponsoring them. Make sense?
But that's where I get confused, though, of playing both sides. Because you love to play the brother card when it's, like, convenient.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, I want to go, like, I want, like, my get back at Tommy Fury. And you're like, no. I need to do my career. I've been sitting on the sidelines. You're taking all these fights from me. Like,
does that worry you at all that
and
this is his
then when I'm like,
space?
wait, but I'm your brother. Then you're like, no, you're not.
For some reason, this made me think of like Tristan and Andrew Tate and how they are with each other and even on camera, and like how their brotherhood is like a real brotherhood, and how most brothers are at a growing age. And usually that's on the father for, teaching the kids and keeping that brotherhood together. But they just don't have that same bond that Tristan and the top G have together. And it's so sad.
We're the only ones out here genuinely trying to help people, and I'm sad that affects the people I love most. That's what makes me sad.
Well, I'm by your side. It won't negatively affect me. If I have to sit in jail, I'll sit in jail. They're going to shoot you. I'll stand in the way. We go down together.
It's always been that way for you and me, my friend.
All right. Let me know down below if you like me covering this kind of drama and what you guys actually think yourselves about this drama. I gained some respect for Jake Paul in this. Don't listen to just my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. Do you think Logan Paul was right in anything he was saying? Because I pretty much disagreed with most of it. And I can't believe that Logan Paul on his own show in front of millions of people would try to like undermine his brother and also like steal the show from him. Like, Logan has his own things going on. I'll reiterate this, guys. He's in the WWE, making tons of money. Impulsive is the biggest podcast on the internet next to Joe Rogan. He's making tons of money. Prime, making tons of money. He's talking about eating. What does Jake do? Nothing but box and fight professionally and train every single day. There is a big, big difference between those two lifestyles. And to act like you're not eating because of Jake while you're doing all this other stuff but fight, and all Jake's doing is fighting, I respect Jake Paul. I respect him for beating Nate Diaz, and I respect him for his outlook on everything, and I respect him for how much work he has put in and how much growth I've actually seen from him in the ring. Really, you have to respect Jake Paul, win or lose. I never hated Jake Paul. I just didn't think he was going to be as good of a boxer as he actually is. He is a pretty good boxer. If he would have started when he was 10 years old like everybody else, maybe he could be world champion. Maybe in 3 years, he will be good enough to be a world champion. Maybe not. But let's all watch and enjoy the show. And hopefully his brother will stay out of stopping that show. Alrighty, guys. I will see you in the next one. You know that I love you all. And where's my mom? Where's my Dr. Pepper? Where's my Dr. Pepper? All right, let me know if you guys like this style of video in the comments, as it is a little different for me on this channel.